following a makeup routine from the 1920s. For primer, we're going to be using the Pond's Cold Cream. If you didn't see my previous video where I talked about skincare in the 1920s, they used this stuff for everything as moisturizer, face wash, makeup remover, and primer. So that's going to be our first step. For foundation, they would have used a powder foundation. I have dry and dehydrated skin, so I do not have any powdered foundations in my makeup collection. So I'm just going to go in with what I normally would, and then I'll set my entire face with powder to give that matte look. For my complexion products, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and the Ilia Skin Tint together. Now that my base is done, I'm going to go in and mattify everything with a setting powder. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter setting powder, and I'm going to be applying it with a soft round puff, and this is what they would have used to apply their powder foundations back in the 1920s. Next, we are going to do rouge or blush. Blush during this time came in cream, powder, and liquid forms, and it was usually a shade of red. I'm going to be using the ColourPop cream blush in the shade Cutesy Wootsy, and they would apply it with 2 fingers in circular motions on the apples of their cheeks. A fun fact is if you were a flapper, you would also apply blush to your knees, which I think is just the cutest thing ever. For eyeshadow, women will often choose shades to match their eye color. If you had green eyes, you would wear gray or green eyeshadow. If you had blue eyes, you would wear green and blue eyeshadow. If you had brown eyes, you would wear brown or plum eyeshadow. And if you had black eyes, you would wear like a shade of red similar to the blush. My eyes are pretty green, so I'm going to be using shades of like gray and black, and I'm going to use the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette for this. Eyeshadow is applied using your fingers. They would take it right along the lash line, and then they'd blend upwards. Women of the 20s loved a good smoky eye. They were often trying to emulate the makeup that Clara Bow would wear in her movies. With one eye almost finished, we're going to replicate what I've done on this side to this side. I know I look a little crazy right now, but just trust the process, we're going to get there. Next, I'm going to be using eyeliner and mascara, and I'm going to use dark brown because that was the shade recommended for my eyes. For your eyeliner, you're going to want to apply it to both your upper and lower lash line. I am using the e.l.f. retractable liner in the shade Coffee. Mascara was still in its development stages and came in a liquid, wax, or cake form, activated with water and a brush like this. And eyelash curlers were actually invented in 1923. Mascaras like this are not very fun to apply, so I really feel for the girls in the 1920s that didn't have the luxury of a modern day mascara. Ugh, such a mess. For eyebrows, women would just use their eyeliner pencil to draw on their brows super thin with a slight downward angle at the inner corner. A matte red was the most popular color of lipstick during this time, and I'm going to be using the ColourPop Bullet Lipstick in the shade Evil Queen. They actually had lip tracers or lip stencils at that time to help women create that perfect bee-stung lip shape. And this is the result of our 1920s makeup routine. What do we think? I have a lot of makeup facts from the 1920s that I didn't get to in this video because I knew it would make it way too long. So stay tuned for part 3 where I go into a lot more detail about the makeup and brands in the 1920s. Thank you for watching!